estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. We want to be that consumer advocate for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got Daniel Weekley back in studio, GTE Financial, as well as Kimberly Linville. We're going to talk real estate, mortgage, and the real estate market. What are some of the changes? What are some of the latest trends that we're seeing here on the show, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Perfectly preserved 250-year-old cherries found in George Washington's cellar at Mount Vernon. Really cool. Archaeologists found 35 well-preserved glass bottles. So pretty cool feel-good story there. What an interesting find, right? To find that from the former president of the United States. And feel-good story of the day coming up later on in the program. Before we do, I want to let you know about our next gratitude party. We have our Thursday, July 18th is the next date. That's our third Thursday event coming up on July 18th, 6 o'clock over at Kingmakers. It's a new location, 3707 West Carmen Street in Tampa. Compliments of Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group. That is his business that he has over there, and it's a really cool scene. It's kind of a cooperative workspace. There's a green room there. You can create video content, and it's also a bar slash kind of a lounge. Really cool. Lots of TVs on the screen. Really awesome location. So you got to come out and check that out. Kingmakers, 3707 West Carmen Street is our next gratitude party, and our audience is invited. Alex, we always like to get the audience involved here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. This is going to be a good one here over at Kingmakers.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've actually been surprised the last couple of events how our listeners have shown up. I mean, I know people call in and I'll get messages and stuff online, and people DM me or reach out to me about my business or just say they like the show or something.
Yeah.
But to meet them in person, it's kind of cool.
I like it. It's a really, really unique experience, that interaction that we are able to have there with our audience. I enjoy it. We were talking investment opportunities with a couple of the gentlemen there. They've got some money invested with Mark Hay, as does my family, and so just really cool to hear these real life stories, because that's what the show's all about. It's about being that consumer advocate, and when you hear those real life stories, it's like, hey, similar story I hear in my family, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And it's just cool just to meet people. I meet somebody new every single time, so
right.
It's cool.
Absolutely. Great networking and more coming up on Thursday, July 18th, 6 o'clock over at Kingmakers, 3707 West Carmen Street. And check out that business, too, by Mike. He set up this Kingmakers as kind of a cooperative workspace, almost like a mastermind. It's a really cool, place there where you can go and have conference rooms and things like that. So it's co-op type workspace. Really cool setup over there as well. I want to give a quick shout out to my friends at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company. He's actually pressure washing my home right now as we speak. He does a great job on our residential properties, commercial properties. HeightsSoftWash.com. Ramin is the owner. He does a great job. I've known him for a long time. HeightsSoftWash.com. for all of your pressure washing needs, residential or commercial. He does a great job. All right, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South. This is a great listing. I love this property here. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South. Beautiful listing here in St. Petersburg. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2236 square feet. This one has a wide open floor plan, and culinary enthusiasts will delight in the fully renovated kitchen. Just a wide open floor plan. Kind of when you're cooking, you're hanging out in the kitchen, you can look over and see the kids playing. You can see the family sitting there. So it's a great opportunity to own a beautiful property here. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg. You have practical features that include solar panels to reduce your electrical costs, your close proximity to Skyway Bridge. There's a gazebo, jacuzzi, lots of updates and upgrades here at our Pinellas Point Drive South listing in beautiful Tampa Bay. 3101 Old Archer Road. This one is up in Gainesville. 3101 Old Archer Road is a great opportunity. We got 90 pre-construction units. We put another one under contract this weekend. So they're selling, and it's a great opportunity for you to invest. 10% off of the pre-construction pricing for a limited time on Old Archer Road. Now, you're literally 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, Shands Medical, Butler Plaza. These are beautiful, state-of-the-art, luxury resort-style condos. You have resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, gourmet kitchen. You have clubhouse overlooking the pool, spacious business center, private theater room, and floor plans that are ranging from the low 400s up to the high 900s. 3101 Old Archer Road in Gainesville, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Dan Weekley back in studio, as well as Kimberly, Linville. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you coming back in. And
thanks for
what are you
having us.
seeing out there? How's the market treating you?
It's going good. It's shifting here or there. You know, sometimes it's a seller's market, a buyer's market. So I feel like we're starting to make the shift into the buyer's market. A couple of years ago, it was a huge seller's market. So
Right.
It's making that shift, and I feel like we're falling somewhere in between right now. Houses are sitting a little bit longer. Not all, depending on price and type of house and such, but
Sure.
they're sitting a little bit longer, and that allows for these buyers to start doing some good negotiations, and sellers getting a little bit more desperate. And I think they're not looking at it as much of, a year ago as, well, my neighbor got this much.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
now they're starting to realize how the market's going. The sellers are starting to realize that, and the buyers should be taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Days on market are up. More price improvements. We're seeing a lot of price drops, more price improvements, and you're absolutely right on point. I mean, when you look at days on market, that's the enemy to your home's value. Mm-hmm. So the more days on market, so we're coaching our agents to, hey, every 2 weeks you've got to do a price improvement. Depending on the amount of activity, of course, because when
Right.
you have showings, then now you might get offers, etc. But yeah, it's interesting. So I've got the stats here. We'll go kind of look at some of the recent stats. If you think, we're looking at Hillsborough County here, single family homes in Hillsborough County. You had in April, we had 1,410 closed sales. As compared to the year before, it's a 3% change. So we dropped 3%. So not too bad, but a little bit less. Paid in cash, you had 302 paid in cash, about the same as the previous year. Median sale price, $429,250. Last 23, it was $420, so up 2.2%. Average sale price, $542,101, and in April of 2023, it's $506,848, so that's a 7% change. So we increased 7% in average sale price. Total dollar volume, $764.4 million in volume in Hillsborough County. So that's just some select stats, just to give you a quick, kind of an overview there at, the recent stats in Hillsborough.
Yeah, that's really good information, and that kind of goes along with my thought process. Typically, house prices go up year over year, and what you mentioned, those house prices did go up minimally, though, compared to most years, especially the past, let's just say 3 years, year over year, they're going up quite a bit. Now, the rate market itself has gone down a little bit.
Right.
So, earlier this year, it was much higher than it is right now. So we would expect prices of homes to then go up. Typically, rates go down, home prices go up. And they haven't gone up as much. So that's why the buyers right now need to take advantage of this time before those house prices do jump up. Take advantage of the lower rates and that little bit better of a price that it is at this moment in time.
Yeah, your cost of funds, whenever that cost of funds goes down, your debt ratio is going to be a lot cleaner. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a better scenario. And then also, as Kimberly was mentioning, what we're seeing as well, especially on resales, excluding here new construction and things like that. But when you look at a resale property, depending on the motivation of the seller, you are seeing closing costs paid for. We're seeing improvements to be made. They can do those improvements before closing. You can also look at just a better negotiation environment for the buyers. So, and then if they don't like the rate, they can always refinance later, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So exactly that. We're seeing so much more negotiations, and so another reason why buyers should take advantage of this time right now is because that house that was going for, let's just say, $400 before, but the list price was $375. Now they can get it for even less than the list price with the negotiations. They get the seller to pay for concessions. They can buy the interest rate down if they want. If they don't like today's rate market, they can buy it down and have an even cheaper payment.
Yeah.
But let's say they don't want to. They want to do it to pay for closing costs so they don't have to come out of pocket for as much. They get today's rate, and rate drops, refinance it.
Yep.
That purchase price, you can't change it. Once you buy that house, that's always going to be what you purchased the house for. That rate, though, if the rate market drops, you can change that. So if you can afford that payment where it's at now, you can make your payment cheaper when you refinance. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, and I get a lot of these investor offers that come through too. I'm not talking about just the straight up cash lowball type offers. Of course, we all see those, but I'm talking about these subject to the mortgage type deals. I'm seeing those, and more and more of my sellers are entertaining those. So it's kind of interesting because if there's an existing mortgage in place that's at like a 3%, 3.5%, sometimes the sellers are saying, "Yeah, sure, that's okay. I've got a small mortgage on this house. I'll leave that in place. They can assume the payments on that." Then we can put together a deal where they're getting money up front or structured payments over time. So creative deals are coming back in. We're seeing those come back in, especially for some of those homes that have been on the market for quite a while. The owners are like, hey, I want to retire, I want to move, whatever it might be. Let's work a deal on this deal. So I'm seeing some of those types of deals coming to the plate. What is GTE Financial doing to help aid buyers right now, in this purchase market?
Yeah, so we are trying to make sure that we have the best products for our buyers. We're constantly looking at other competitors, making sure that our rates are within line, if not the best in the area. And then our products as well, making sure that we stand out with our products to be able to assist people that may not be able to be assisted with other lenders. So we're constantly looking at rates and products, but then we also have just other products. We have our title company, we have insurance company. We also just rolled out a home warranty program that if you don't work that into the negotiations, which a lot of times now it is, that you maybe get thrown in the home warranty program. If not, then you can purchase with GTE a home warranty program. Or maybe you're not even buying. Maybe you already own a home and you're refinancing, or don't even want to mess. You have a great rate and you just want a home warranty program. We've rolled out that program, which is nice. Just an added benefit. So we're just constantly looking for ways that we can make the lives of our membership as best as it can be.
I like that, taking care of your members. That's a good way to do business. We're going to take a quick break there. More coming up. Dan Weekley in the studio, as well as Kimberly Linville here on the program with us. Also, feel good story of the day. Interesting story here. Perfectly preserved 250-year-old cherries found in George Washington's cellar at Mount Vernon. Interesting story coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Appreciate you spending some time with us, supporting the show, supporting the hotline, calling the hotline for all of your needs in real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, self-defense, home services, and so much more here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Almost 11 years on air, and that's some of our take pride. We take pride in that. People calling in and us putting them in connection with the best expert to help them win in any marketplace. That is our goal. Quick shout out to our friends at Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall, excellent food, wonderful ambiance, and a very friendly wait staff as well. Brio Tuscan Grill, 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard. It's at the International Plaza Mall. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They'll hook you up with free appetizer. Joey is the general manager as well. All you have to do is mention the show, and they'll hook you up with a free appetizer, and they might even throw in a free water with lemon. I don't know. You got to talk nice to them, though. But so we've got Dan Weekley in the house, Kimberly, Linville here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, talking more about this local real estate market. A couple of hot listings here before we do. 232 Hardcastle Place. This is a great entry-level, affordable type of a home, townhome here in Valrico. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, bonus room, 1,560 square feet, granite countertops, plenty of parking in the community. You have a beautiful community pool as well in your close proximity to Highway 60. 232 Hardcastle Place in Valrico. We got a motivated seller there as well. 8533 110th Street. This is unit number 305, 55-plus community, owner-motivated here as well. This is in Seminole, Florida. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 638-square-foot condo. Quiet library for relaxation. Well-maintained walking areas, year-round heated pool and spa, shuffleboards, game room, billiards room, and no land lease, resulting in lower monthly payments. So you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. So speaking of that one, that last one I looked at there, Kimberly, that's a condo. So the condo market is a little bit more challenged here, in Tampa Bay and Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, wherever you're looking. Just in general, the condo market is a little bit more challenged than, of course, the stats we just looked at on the single-family home. So challenges with condos. Are you seeing those too?
Yeah. So condos, well, with the one you just mentioned, no land lease, that opens them up to being lesser of a challenge. With as far as the financing goes,
right.
Being warrantable through for conventional financing, that's the challenges we see. If we do see any challenges, a lot of times buyers like to look at condos because it's cheaper than a single family. But then when you look at HOAs and the affordability, that is a little bit of pushback. But just getting the condo warranted process and at times we can look up and see if a condo is already warranted, hopefully save you a little bit of time. Being GTE, we have, that special way to do that. So
right. Yeah, and the condo challenge too is if you really take into account if you see a high HOA fee or a condo fee, you got to really ask the question, what is in that fee? What all is included? Because a lot of times it's an extensive list. The roofing, the insurance, a lot of the different things are covered there, pool, common areas, and things like that. So those are the questions to ask. Those are the things to consider. So what is it about today's market that really should put a little bit more urgency under buyers to get them into a home or a purchase.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything we spoke about today all combined into one. Between the seller or home sitting on the market a little bit longer, sellers getting a little bit more anxious to sell, with the rates gone down a little bit and home prices not going up. All around, it's favorable for those buyers. We're into summer now, where typically people are going to start buying homes, and we want to hit it before those house prices do go up if the rates start to go down any further. So it's really just kind of like a perfect storm right now for a buyer to purchase if you can. It's your time.
Yeah, it really is. It's your time. It's a great opportunity. And Daniel, what would you recommend to those buyers who want to? They're saying, yeah, I like the idea of getting in now. It seems like Kimberly makes some good points, but they can't. They just have issues maybe with credit.
We love working with buyers. That's our niche here in the Tampa Bay area. Maybe they can't, but we don't believe in saying no to our buyers. We just believe in saying, okay, not right now, but let's put you on a plan to win. And whether it's being a savings plan, whether it's restructuring debt, whether it's doing some credit rebuilding, those are the things that we do, right? That's what makes us stand out, makes us the top credit union in the Tampa Bay area. And it's also what keeps our members with us, right? That's what we're here to do. Yeah. So whether it's refinancing their cars, refinancing other debts they have, just helping them holistically be able to say, hey, I can do this now, right? Opening their eyes to the experience of, hey, you can do it. Don't pay attention to the news. Don't pay attention to other people telling you no. We're here to tell you yes. We're here to help you get into a home. Yeah. And that's what we're driven to do. And, obviously we're a full service credit union with checking accounts and all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, we're here to really serve the community and help all of our members become a homeowner.
I like that. So does anything come to mind? Do you have any success stories where you've said, hey, this was, a person that I put on a kind of a plan, like a 6-month plan. We walk them through.
We do, actually. We have a really good success story. We have somebody who 2 months ago, I did the loan for, and they just barely met the qualifications. They were just right under it. And we didn't want to pull, Kim looked at it and she said, I don't want to pull all 3 credit bureaus because one of the credit bureaus is right online. And what if one of them comes low? That means we're going to have to use that one in the middle. Let's do some credit building with this member. And so immediately we had a great conversation with the member and said, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z. It's been 30 days, about 45 days. She's already completed those things we needed her to do. We're just waiting for her credit bureau to update.
Nice.
And then by mid-July, we're going to be able to have her approved.
Nice.
So it wasn't a no. It was, hey, we need you to do X, Y, and Z, and we're going to get you there.
Right.
So we already know by mid-July when we re-enter the app. And we have her checking her credit scores, keeping track of everything. So we know by mid-July. And it's going to be a great time for her because right now, obviously, she's looking for sellers that are willing to pay closing costs or willing to buy the rate down. She knows exactly what she's looking for.
Yep.
And we're coaching her to that. We're coaching her to what to be looking for as well.
She'll end up getting a great deal. That's great. Yeah. That's a great success story there. Dan Weekley, GTE Financial, Kimberly Linville, GTE Financial here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And one of the things, just a quick note on credit too, a lot of times people will get bad advice and they'll say, oh yeah, pay off those old collection accounts and things like that. So a lot of times if you're paying off an old collection account, a medical account, for example, you're bringing that current, the transaction, the TransUnion, Equifax, etc. They're seeing that as like, hey, that's a recent account, so that's going to negatively impact your score. What are the coordinates? The website. How do you want people to connect?
Yeah, so we can reach out to us. My cell is 727-808-3457. We're at gtefinancial.org.
GTEfinancial.org. Give the cell one more time.
727-808-3457.
All right. Give them a call, folks. Take them up on those offers. And thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up, Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. We're going to talk about SBA financing, the commercial side of lending, and more coming up here with Andrew Kube, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and our feel-good story of the day as well. Perfectly preserved 250-year-old cherries found in George Washington's cellar. Coming up, Consumer Quarterback Show ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, or investing, of course, we would love to talk to you, help you sell faster for more money, maximize the exposure and the profit on the sale of your real estate listings. Quick shout out to Lee's Royal Services. Lee does a great job cleaning our real estate properties, residential, commercial cleaning. He also has a handyman service as well, so there's a lot of need for that. I know I've seen a lot of need for that in the real estate business and folks out there. So Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Check them out online, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All right, hot listing here for this segment. We got a bar for sale at 5402 West US Highway 92. It's out in Plant City. This one is a great opportunity to for that entrepreneur, that business owner. This would be potentially maybe make it into a restaurant or something too, man. You got an awesome opportunity here at Plant City. 1716 square feet. Commercial general is the zoning. Turnkey bar boasting a coveted COP license. So you have a license that will allow you to sell packaged liquor as well as host events. Great business opportunity here. License permits for hosting private events. Fully furnished space, complete with all fixtures and furnitures. 16 taps, ice machine, 4 flat screens on site, ATM, jukebox, pool tables, etc. Website, as well as established presence online. Very minimal overhead and established revenue stream. Cash cow bar for sale at 5402 West US Highway 92 in Plant City, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also have a property at 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey. Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey. Here we go, another one. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1-car garage. And you have a beautiful pool area there, covered lanai, fenced-in deck, brick pavers, 1710 square feet, 3-story townhouse right here in Newport Richey, Florida. 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey. You have a gorgeous kitchen, stainless steel appliances, cabinet space, ample cabinet space, walk-in closets. HOA fee covers maintenance for the grounds, exterior roof, basic cable, and trash. You have 2 community pools, fitness center, private dog park, and beach access. Great opportunity in downtown Newport Richey's charm, just a short walk away, block away. Plethora of shopping just minutes away. 5601 Blackfin Drive. You can see all of our listings, Platinum MVP Team. KW.com. All right, we're going to the phone lines here. We got Andrew QB back on the program. He's U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Welcome back, Andrew.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And tell us a little bit more about U.S. Commercial and Business Capital and how you're helping our business owners out there.
Yeah, so at U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, one side of our business is we help business owners get the financing to start a business, buy a business, grow their existing business, and franchise. We work with franchisors to help their clients franchise. So if you're out there and you're trying to get out of corporate America and you want to talk about franchising, I'm a great source. We have lenders all over the country, and we can find you the best deal to get started and franchise a business. We help out people. We help people start businesses. A lot of banks out there aren't working with startups, and we have relationships all over the country of banks that like different industries. So I can help you find the financing for that. Or if you're looking to grow your existing business. Now, the SBA has set aside $5 million for every small business out there, and there's only a few industries that don't qualify. But I would say 98% of the businesses out there qualify for an SBA loan. So we help businesses buy real estate for their business, get money for equipment, working capital, even to pay off business credit card debt or any high interest rate business debt. We can help you with that. And then if you're looking to buy a business, we work with investors that are out there, and they just like to buy businesses and grow those businesses. And a lot of times they'll even leave the owner of that business on as an employee. So, yeah, that's what we're doing to help business owners. We have all accesses to working capital, money for equipment. If you have accounts receivable out there and you need factoring on your money to help pay payroll or help your business right now, we can help you with that. So it's just all sources, Brandon, of different relationships that I have in the Tampa Bay area as well as around the country to help the clients get the best financing and sometimes find them financing when no one else wants to help them.
Yeah, I like that, man. There's a lot there, man. You've got a really cool business there, and I think there's such a need for this, and it's kind of a need that people you've got to kind of uncover that need in a lot of cases. It seems like a lot of times you'll have business owners, could be a restaurant, yoga studio, et cetera, that has a space at a strip mall, but they're just paying all this money, this absorbent money, month after month, absorbent money going into their landlord's pocket versus building up equity and that exit strategy as well, like we've talked about on shows before. I wanted to ask you a question. There was a kind of interesting story last week. We talked about, there's all this commercial space out there when you think about the malls, of course, retail moving online. So a lot of online retailers, of course, reaping the benefit, unless people going into malls and things like that. Generally speaking. And then you also have this move to work from home. So you have that kind of an exodus from, hey, I don't want to go to the job place every week. I'd rather work from home. A lot of companies are saying, sure, we'll let you do a workspace, flex workspace schedule. So they're doing like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule or something like that. But Netflix, interesting story last week. They ended up coming out. They're opening up these experiences that are kind of bringing their shows to life. Something like Stranger Things, the hit show for kind of teenagers, etc. But it was a good show. I watched it with my kids as well, and they enjoyed that. But when you look at Netflix going into commercial malls and then repurposing some of that commercial space into kind of an experience, on-site experience for fans of their shows, seems like a pretty cool way to repurpose commercial real estate, Andrew.
Yeah, it was so funny that you say that. I'm in Virginia today, but my son and I, we were. My daughter and I, we wanted to stop by the mall there, and she's like, I don't think this mall is open anymore. And they did. It was still open. It used to be a thriving mall, and they closed early, and it was on a Saturday. I think they were closed by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something, which is unusual for a mall that's thriving. So I think it's a great idea. Any way that they can go in and use that space to draw more people into the mall. It's obviously going to help out the small businesses that are still there that are basically barely staying alive in a lot of cases.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a smart way to do it and they say they're going to be growing that business model. So it'll be interesting to see, how that plays out, to see if they're successful. That's why I say, let's see it. The plan's there. Now let's see you execute is the way I look at it. Now, what are you seeing on the side of also from that work from home crowd? And I wanted to ask you too, what is kind of your hottest industry right now? What are you seeing people moving and shaking in your U.S. commercial and business capital?
So to answer that question, I see a lot of different industries. I would say anything to do with home health care is a thriving industry right now. The government will pay the qualified business owners, money through Medicaid to house even veterans or the elderly or even people that have just gotten out of the hospital. So I would say that is big, and then daycare. Believe it or not, schools, daycare, I see a lot of that business. But I see a lot of different things. Restaurants, you mentioned the bar you had for sale earlier, bar/restaurant. I'm working with clients, all over the country that are buying bars or restaurants or purchasing. So I would say those industries I seem to see the most clientele. But it's really all over the place. I get to see a lot of new ideas too for startups. Hotels fall under the SBA, so there's some company that works in the D.C. area, and they do more of a hostel/hotel, which is kind of an interesting concept. So I get to see a lot of different things. I wouldn't say there's one industry besides those two I mentioned. It might just be because I'm getting more business from that, and that's why I say that. But typically, it's really all over the place.
Yeah, home health care, I think, is definitely, as you mentioned. And then, the number one industry of all last year was the hospital industry. the last few years. So think about that. We're putting more people in the hospital, and it could be part of the aging demographic. I get it, but it just seems like there's not an emphasis on, the earlier part of those diseases, and the treatment of the symptoms seems to be the prevailing issue there. If you just joined us, we're talking with Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's on Facebook as well, USCB Capital on Facebook. And Andrew is a longtime friend of the show, commercial lender. So think about outside of your residential stuff. This is commercial lending, SBA loans. An interesting business too, Andrew, that I've seen is, we're very familiar with kids daycare. Of course, you're going to drop the kids off during the day, but there's also a new industry sprouting that I've seen some reports on, adult daycare. Have you seen those?
I have not.
Yeah, kind of
Not the
interesting.
daycare, but I have seen. I have one client where she has the home daycare, and now she is expanding from her live-in daycare where she houses the elderly, and then she's opening up another branch of her company to where she can help provide them activities during the day.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can go and actually, they don't have to stay in the house all day. They can actually have a van that picks them up and takes them to a community center where they have different events scheduled, which, she's looking to purchase the community center to be able to have a different division or a different side of her business.
Right. Do you have a recent success story or somewhere where you've helped a business owner, either buyer or...
Well, I would say, I'm working with a franchisor right now out of Texas. They've actually opened two new locations in Florida. It's called HTO, TEAO, HTO, and they have 30 different flavor teas. So when it's hot outside, and you're in Texas or in Florida and you don't want to go to Starbucks to get an iced coffee, they do have coffee as well, but it just gives you an alternative. They have about 100 locations. The success story was they had a client that they referred to me that was looking for a ground lease, and no SBA lenders wanted to help out on that. She had spoken to 14 different banks over a year's period of time, and I was able to find her lending in in like 3 days after my initial phone call with HTO, and
wow.
They've sent me 32 clients over the last 3 months. So that's a success story that I've
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's a great success story there. Andrew Kube here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, and we talk a lot about the real estate business. Commercial is an interesting side of the business. Depending on what interest rates do, Andrew, and what happens over these next few months, what do you see happening with the commercial space, the commercial lending, the commercial? Is there, in other words, is there a capacity? Because I've seen some reports for foreclosures and things of that nature happening in the commercial space.
Yeah, I would say that's probably mostly in the big office spaces, to where, as you mentioned, businesses are staying at home. So, depending on what type of business it is, maybe at one time they were renting out commercial office space. So you have an owner that owns, let's say, a commercial space with 50 units, and at one time all 50 units were full before COVID, and now, they're sitting at a 50% occupancy at best, and they're in a situation to, what do we do now? And a lot of them are probably renegotiating their loan terms with the banks. Others are probably losing the property. I have a client in Orlando that owns a office building, and what they decided to do was rezone the units to where now what they're doing is they're creating different tax map IDs and selling the units to the actual the lessees, the people that are leasing the properties. Their businesses in there right now, and with some of the loan programs we have, they can own the property, and it's less than what they're paying, and their mortgage payments could be less than what they're paying in rent.
That's great.
On the so yeah, that's one thing that I've been seeing in that office space. For businesses staying at home, we still can provide them working capital and money to grow their business at home if real estate's not involved. So I
Right.
can still help them do that. And I think I forgot your initial question.
Oh, that's okay. I think you answered it in a roundabout way, because when you look at the commercial space, you gave us a good summary there. We talked a lot about it. It's who's to know, right? Are there going to be foreclosures, or I think in the way that you mentioned, they're willing to work out deals right now. The buyers are willing to work out. The sellers, that rather, are willing to work deals. They're ready to make deals. They're ready to cut. Hey, if you're already leasing in there, and I think it's kind of similar to your rent replacement program. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and that program, we haven't mentioned it today, but that program is for business owners that are currently leasing their property for their business out there right now today. We have a program that they can buy commercial real estate and walk away with money to help their business grow for no money down. So I'll give you one other success story. I had a company, a client this month that closed on a loan. They owned a tow truck company, and they were leasing their space. They were paying about $96,000 a year. They wanted to put that money back in their pocket. They found a space. We were able to do a no money down loan for them up to $700,000 to buy the property. They needed a new roof on the property. They needed a new driveway. They wanted to pave the driveway. They needed some working capital, and they needed a little bit of rehab to the property. So we ended up doing a loan just under $1 million for no money down. So they bought the property. Oh, I forgot. They walked away with 2 new tow trucks for $150,000 a piece for all no money down. They bought the property, got 2 tow trucks, fixed the roof, put in a new driveway, did a little bit of rehab in addition to the property, all for no money down. So that's, when people hear that, they're like, well, what's the catch? There is no catch. I have 4 banks in the country that have this program that help the clients buy commercial real estate to grow their business for no money down, and it's a projection-based loan where they can walk away with money to help their business grow.
I love it. Check him out online, folks. Andrew Kube, uscbcapital.com, uscbcapital.com. You can also find him online at consumerqb.com. That's our website, consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Andrew, thanks so much, man. Good stuff there.
All right, Brandon, have a great rest of the day. Thanks again.
Hey, my pleasure. All right, taking a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk with our producer here in studio, Alex Black Belt Lima, also owner of Martial Arts Studio here in Tampa Bay. Does a great job here in Tampa Bay helping the youth right now. This summer camps, he's got a lot of summer camps going on. We're going to talk with him, as well as our feel-good story of the day coming up. Perfectly preserved 250-year-old cherries found in George Washington's cellar at Mount Vernon. Feel good story coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio. We're going to be talking with Alex Black Belt Lima here on the program here in just a moment. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We always feature our real estate properties on air. Our strategy is to help our sellers sell faster for more money for maximum profit here in Tampa Bay, of course, with the least amount of headaches. So we can help you win in any marketplace, as we say. 3417 Poinsettia. This is a vacant land, parcel of land. Build your dream home on this waterfront beauty. This one is 3417 Poinsettia Drive, Hernando Beach. You have a residential waterfront lot. It's on a cul-de-sac. You have a great opportunity to buy and build right here in Tampa Bay. A lot of people are looking at that option right now. No HOA or CDD fees. You have an expansive 84-foot waterfront stretch here on Poinsettia Drive, Hernando Beach. Great opportunity to own real estate. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 1922 Fiesta Ridge. We've got a great opportunity again, gated community. This is a townhome in Tampa. Great location here. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1284 square foot townhouse. This one's bright and open floor plan. It's the Las Palmas Townhomes in Tampa. You have living room sliders that lead out to a fenced-in backyard, stainless steel appliances in the kitchen, ample counter space, and you're just minutes away from TIA, that's Tampa International Airport, and Hyde Park's trendy boutiques, upscale dining, and scenic parks. 1922 Fiesta Ridge Court, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, feel good story of the day coming up here. Feel good story. We always like to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we got archaeologists found 35 well-preserved glass bottles from the 1700s during renovations at George Washington's Mount Vernon estate. The bottles contain cherries and possibly other berries, likely preserved by enslaved people who worked in the kitchen. Researchers are analyzing the contents to learn more about the 18th century food practices and potentially grow new cherries from pits found in the bottles. The discovery is significant. It offers a rare glimpse into the daily life at Mount Vernon and coincides with the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States. So there you have it, our feel-good story of the day. Alex, what's your thoughts on that, man? Pretty interesting story there, huh?
I don't know, man. That sounds kind of sus to me. It sounds a little crazy. They found it's been so long there in the cellar. You're telling me you got these preserved cherries. And then they're like, oh, we want to, it's probably saved by people that were, I think they were just trying to make some hooch. You know? I think they were, I mean, that's what they did back then. You put a whole bunch of berries and stuff in a bottle or whatever, and you let it ferment and stuff like that. So I think GW was just trying to get his party on. To be
there you go. Hey, man, that's what they did back then. Here's some of the pictures too. If
back then, they do it now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. But but back then, what else you got?
Yeah.
That's like your limited stuff. I don't know. Were they making moonshine and stuff back then though?
That was pre-prohibition, so I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff been made throughout the years that don't exist anymore because you've lost it's kind of like a lost art. Like for example, like good women that were good seamstresses and know how to sew and all this stuff. Like those are becoming more and more like lost arts.
Right,
you know?
That's true.
So
that's true with the modernization and the you lose track of that.
So I bet there's a recipe out there for some amazing like chicken pot pie and some like strawberry moonshine that's like just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's an interesting find though. Really cool, man, and something different. We do this positivity minute just to kind of take your eye off of some of the negativity that's out there. But so kind of cool story, man. 250-year-old cherries found George Washington's cellar. Alex, thanks so much, man.
Anytime, dude.
All right, hey, another great show. We had our lending partner Andrew Kube on the commercial side, as well as Dan and Kimberly Linville as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.